junkies out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Hey, show does start now. I'm your host, Johnny Allen. This is the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Hope you guys are doing good out there. Listen, this is your first time stopping by my channel. Welcome. I'm just an everyday life guy, average guy, just making it, getting by in life, and just your average. I'm your average guy, okay? I talk about everyday life situations. That's what I do here. For like 30 minutes, I just talk about things I've seen in my day, things I've observed, just different topics that come up. Some I might have seen, like I said, or whatever, and I want to talk about. I just share with you guys. That's about it. That's all we do. We don't get too heavy into things, and things of that nature. But anyway, thanks again for stopping by. Listen, last week, I want to thank all you guys for stopping by and participating in the show. I had a special 1-hour broadcast last week. It was in honor of the late, great Eddie Van Halen. It's hard to even say late, great. It's hard to believe that he's gone. I mean, it's been over a week now. It's just unbelievable. But, I dedicated the whole podcast to Eddie Van Halen. He's going to be missed. I still am in shock over it. It's going to take a while to get over the passing of the great late Eddie Van Halen. What a great musician he was, great guitar player. I mean, he was like my number one guitarist. And, I'm a musician, and I really looked up to Eddie Van Halen. And his memory will last as long as I'm alive, with me. So, anyway, thanks again. I want to also thank Mark. Shout out to Mark. My buddy Mark, he's my first official guest on the show. Yay! I told you guys I was going to guest, and I told you I was just going to throw him out there, and you wouldn't know when. And guess what? Last week we did. So thank you, Mark, for calling in. I'm going to have some call-in guests for a while because of COVID-19. I could do a Zoom and Skype and all that, but I just want people in the studio with me. I want to be like Joe Rogan, have them sitting across from me. So until we get to that point, I'm just going to be calling people in. People call me, and we're going to have our discussions that way. So I just the way I want to do it. No particular reason, just the way I want to do it. Anyway, thanks again for stopping by the show. Listen, a couple of things, products I like to sponsor here. This is dieselcoffee.com, right? Actually, it's Diesel Coffee Company. I call it dieselcoffee.com. I don't know why. It's www.shopdieselcoffee.com. This is a really good coffee, guys. Really good. www.shopdieselcoffee.com. I got the links below. If you guys like coffee, go up there and get Tim's coffee. He'll be back in business next week. He had to take off a couple weeks, but he'll be back in. I highly recommend that coffee. Also, Box Kickers Talking Sports. Check them out on Spotify. Chris and Daniel down there in Austin, Texas. Those guys do a fantastic job talking about sports, keeping you up to date. They give their opinions and their thoughts on everything sports related. Of course, it's heavy in the NFL right now, so if you're watching the NFL and you're doing that kind of stuff, man, go check them out down there in Austin. Lastly, I would like to talk about a new podcast that my good buddy Woody has put out. It's called Woo, W-O-O. And I will post a link when I get it to his show, too. Nice podcast. More on... He's more on the faith side, which is great because he's a pastor, but he's a great guy and very knowledgeable and common sense and just a really good guy. And I'm going to have him on my show as well at some point soon, and when the schedules work out. And we're going to be having some nice conversations with Woody. So anyway, getting to my talking points today. Again, like I said, thanks to Mark. Last week it was great. We talked about Eddie Van Halen. He's going to be missed. And man, I tell you, since I put the podcast up, I mean, this whole week has just been flooded. Everything Van Halen, everything Eddie Van Halen. And, respectively so. He deserves all the attention. It's too bad when someone dies, they get all that attention after they die. Not that he didn't get attention, he did. But when someone passes away, it's amazing how much attention and awareness and that is brought up. But anyway, today, guys, I'm drinking the Diesel, and I like to share my mugs, too. So this is a nice mug of the Yorktown, okay, the USS Yorktown. That's an old carrier from World War II. And I like to have a shout out to the veterans. You know, Veterans Day is coming up next month. And I can't say enough for our veterans. So, coffee today is to you veterans. Let's have a swig. There's no sugar in it. Usually I used to put creamers in it. I'm just putting skim milk in it now. Got to get right with the doctor. Got to make sure, I am getting older, so, it's time to start ramping up the health thing. And, I recommend, I've changed my whole diet, I guess you would call it, or lifestyle change with the eating and up and the exercise for a week. And I tell you what, I feel a lot better. So anyway, again, thanks for the stopping by my channel today. Listen, like I said, upgrades are coming. Upgrades are here. I don't know if you noticed, but audio is a lot better now. We got the audio kicking in. We got call in. Slowly but surely, everything's ramping up here on the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Okay, to my talking points, guys. Really, I talked about, of course, Eddie Van Halen passed away last week. Still kind of like, whoa, that really happened, He's gonna be missed, man. I tell you, I just can't get over that completely. And the feeling, the feeling and the love for Eddie just poured out. I just felt the love for Eddie last week, and like I said, he deserved it. I did mention guests are coming. Okay, talking points today, guys. It's been an interesting week for me so far, and it's only Thursday, but I want to point out a couple things. I talk a lot about interactions with other people and through my everyday life, whether it be work or strangers out on the street or whatever, just interactions with other people. Social media, once in a while when I get on the social media, comments that are being making. Okay, of course, we're like 3 weeks away or so from the election, and I'm not a political guy. Well, I'm a political guy in a way, but this is not a political show. But anyway, we're 3 weeks away from the election. Things are heated up. We know all about this stuff. Everybody's, it's just bombarding. Social media is bombarded by who's the better candidate, who's not the better candidate, this guy, that guy. You get the gist of it, right? So the reason why I'm bringing that up is my encounters with people every day are just, and I'll share some of this. It's just so intriguing to me, and I've thought about this for a long time. How people act and behave, how you handle the interaction, especially if it's negative. How do you handle negative interaction with some other person, right? How do you handle that? How you deal with it? Do you just get real mad and, do this and, whatever. Anyway, I thought about all this stuff and I want to share with you guys. See what you think. Comment below on anything I got to say today. Comment on anything. All right, so I talk about integrity, honesty, being judgmental, and hypocrites. Being a hypocrite. Okay, I want to bring those four things up. The reason why, because I observe that every day. I try to be a man of integrity. Okay, like I say, I'm not perfect. I never claim to be. But I strive for integrity. I strive to have integrity. I really do. I strive to have integrity and demonstrate integrity without bragging or boasting about it or whatever. Just walking the walk. You know what I mean? Just walking the walk. Kind of like getting back to Eddie Van Halen. He was pretty humble about his guitar work. He never bragged that I'm the best guitar player and all this stuff. And I have to have a shout out to Steve Vai too, because Steve Vai in an interview, he said, the guy asked him, said, you've had to replace these big name guitar players. Do you feel like you compare or you feel like you're better? And he says, oh, no. I just do what I do. I look up to these people and I do what I do, and I'm no better. And that's just the way it is. But he was very humble about it. And I think it's good to be humble. It's good to have confidence in yourself, but you can be humble about it, all right? Okay, here's where I'm going with all this stuff. I try to be a man of integrity. So I run into people, especially at the workforce, and a few of them like to really, state their opinions pretty heavily about things, especially politics. But without getting any details or whatever, I try to just get along, do my job, do what I need to do outside the workplace. Just do what I have to do in a responsible manner, one that's respectful to other people. I don't get in anybody's way. I hope they don't get in my way. I just, try to stick to myself, do what I have to do what I'm told to do, especially in the workplace or whatever, and kind of just leave people alone. But you always encounter, no matter how hard you might do something or how conscientious you are about how good you are at performing on the job or whatever, you always got that one or two people, especially you catch them behind your back doing this in a negative connotation. And that just would kind of drive you bonkers. I'll give you an example. Working real hard one day, busting your can, right? And and you don't get any kudos, and that's okay from anybody. You're expected to do it. But then when someone you maybe perceived to make one mistake, even if you didn't make it, and someone behind your back has to say this really, call you this really nasty name behind your back. That's an example. It just really doesn't. That's a integrity. Get back to integrity. Is that integrity? Okay, so one person's working really hard. You know it's a good person. You know it's a good worker. Never says anything bad about anybody else. Tries to get along and everything. But you always got invariably that one or two individuals that have to say something negative about somebody. Comment below. I try to understand what that is. Could it be jealousy? Could it be envy? I don't know. Is it something you should do? No. I don't think it's anything we should do at all. I like to keep that integrity. The whole world would be a lot better place if we could all have step up our integrity. And if people don't know what the word integrity means, look it up on Google. You should know. And the next thing I got is honesty. I deal with people every day, right? Like you guys do. Honesty is the best policy. Just be honest about something, no matter what it is. You know, don't talk about something and try to lie about it. Just be honest about it. I don't like so and so. So you're going to talk bad about somebody behind their back, and then to their face you're real nice. Okay, that's kind of two-faced, backstabbing, whatever you call it. If you don't like somebody, that's fine. Whatever reason you don't like them, but just say, you know what? Yeah, I really have a problem with you. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like you, and I'm just being honest with you. I don't like you. Or the other way around. I really like you. You're really a nice guy and all that stuff. And if you ever notice too that people will generally say, if they like you, they'll say, yeah, I really like you, man. You're a cool dude. You're a nice guy. You're blah, 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 whatever. But on the flip side of it, if they don't like you, they won't be honest about it most of the time. Sometimes they do, but most of the time, percentage-wise, they're not going to come to you and say, you know what, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So they try to be rude without being rude, without telling you, I don't really like you, but behind your back tell somebody you don't like them. You get what I'm saying? I think we just should stay with integrity and be honest, right? And that leads me to my next talking point is judgments. Man, judgments. Judgmental people. Come on. Really? Really? I heard this just the other day at the workplace, man. You're not gonna believe this. So we have a few people that do not like the President of the United States. And I get that. Newsflash, a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. A lot of people do. Okay. That's old story. Well, here's the thing. Individual doesn't like Donald Trump, talks about him bad all the time at the workplace, which I don't think the workplace is not the place to bring up political rhetoric. Okay, we don't do that at work. But invariably, you have people that do that. Shouldn't do it, but they do. So anyway, you got an Donald Trump, President Trump, talking like this. You got another person that's an anti-Donald Trump, agrees, and actually made this comment in front of a lot of people. Now, you don't know who these people are. You don't know these people like Donald Trump. They don't like Donald Trump. Doesn't matter, but you should not ever. Here's an example of how you got to keep your judgments, keep your integrity, right? This person responds back, is like, well, I hope they get rid of him and all his white trash followers. Wow. at the workplace. Now, here's the thing. It's okay to have your opinion. Don't care. But don't do it at work. And it's integrity, people. Whether you like him, whether you like the man or not, there's people that like him. It's just, the thing is, it's so political now that you have to be so politically correct. You got to watch what you say, and you got certain people that are really with that, right? And I understand it. I'm cool with that, right? That's what I'm talking about. You should watch what you're saying, right? But you got the people that are saying that are preaching that, which comes to my next point, that are preaching this all the time. Well, you can't judge a person. You can't say this. You can't say that. Everybody's equal and blah, 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 blah. And I get all that. But most of the people that are driving that agenda and that narrative are the ones like I witnessed today. And I swear to God, it's honestly God's truth. The ones that they say, well, get rid of him and all the white trash that follow him. So by making that comment, you're basically doing what you preach not to do, right? You see what I'm saying? So that brings me to my next talking point. That's hypocritical. You're a hypocrite. Okay, say I'm this kind of person that says, okay, yeah, you know what? You got to respect everybody. You got to respect all these groups, and shame on you if you don't respect all these groups. But yeah, that same type of individual that says these things turns around and says something like that. So basically, it's just hypocritical. So where it leads back to integrity. So where's your integrity? There is no integrity. Now, myself, I won't do that. I may not agree with what people do. I may not agree with certain kind of lifestyles or what people do or what people like, what they eat or whatever, but I don't make a big deal about it. I don't make a big deal about it. I just say, you know what? Whatever. They're free to do what they want. That's them. But don't judge me. So it comes into being that judgmental, honesty, integrity. And the thing is, if you're the one on the receiving end of the negativity, you can't be honest enough to come back and say, you know what you just said was hypocritical. Now, maybe you could say that, but then again, do you get blasted for that? This is just all food for thoughts, guys. Comment below. It's just, like I said, I talk about everyday life situations. These are things that I run into every day in my life with people, with the social style that we have now. These social, I wouldn't even call them social graces. It's just social behaviors. Okay, comment below. So you got, like I said, don't be hypocritical. Don't be hypocritical, man. If you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk. Let's don't talk the talk, walk the walk. Walk it, don't talk it. If you're gonna talk it, walk it. You guys know what I'm saying. That's for your coffee. Don't do something that you preach about not doing and do it. It's hypocritical, right? These are all simple things. I know, guys, these are all basic things, but people don't follow them. Man, comment below. People just do not follow them. Okay, I'm going to slide on to this next subject now. Okay, I'm going to talk about this thing called Dash. And it's not the seasoning, and it's not what's, on your board. It's not the Dash on your computer. It's not the Dash on your board, on your car, whatever. This Dash is a guy called Rudy Zarzo, a famous bass player, rock and roll bass player, actually has a podcast about this very subject. It's called Dash. Okay, you're born, and then you have this length in between, which is called life, and then you die. And in between the born and the death is called the Dash. He calls it the Dash, which is really cool. And it's a dash, like almost like a dash, like a fast run, a dash, like that. Okay, and he talks about life being a dash. And I love this because, you're born and then you have the dash, which is the real fast life that goes by, and then you die. So what kind of thing are you going to do while you're in the dash mode? See, I'm in the dash mode right now. You guys are listening to me are in the dash mode, right? We're in the dash part of our life right now. We've already been born. Now we're in the dash. And then before we have the ending of the race, right? At the beginning of the race and the end of the race. So what are you going to do while you're dashing, while you're living in your life? Comment below. Are you living a fulfilled life right now? Are you getting everything you want out of life? Are you a person of integrity? Are you being honest? Are you not being judgmental? Are you not being a hypocrite during your dash? You guys see where I built up with this? And here's an example of it. Eddie Van Halen just died last week. He was born, he had a fantastic dash, and then he died. His dash was pretty quick, 65. So it's just awareness, guys. Think about this stuff. Think about what you're doing in life. I mean, I am about maybe trying to keep a little healthier in life, thinking healthier, being healthier spiritually, caring about your neighbor. Not everybody's going to agree with what's going on, right, with one side or the other. But let's don't be hypocritical. Okay? Let's don't be hypocritical. Life is going fast, so let's take a look at it. Look at what's going on in your life. Really stop one day and look at your life. Look at it. Am I doing what I really want to do? Am I fulfilling my goals? Do I have goals? The way I look at it, the older I get is my goal way back in the day was become a rock star and be rich and drive Lamborghini. Basically be Eddie Van Halen. That's really what I wanted, okay, to sum it up. I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen. Okay, I'm not Eddie Van Halen in the sense that I am not rich and have a bunch of cars and not this big rock star, right? But I am Eddie Van Halen when it comes to enjoying what I'm doing in my life. Like I enjoy playing music, okay, and being humble. Those two characteristics of Eddie Van Halen and I share. Another drink of coffee. I hope you guys are having a good day. And you notice I say that quite a bit, and I really mean it. I hope you guys are having a good day. With all the negativity and going on in the world, we need to have good days. We can make good days. Like I said, practice that integrity, honesty. Don't be judgmental. Don't get hung up on stuff, and don't be a hypocrite. Okay? And leave well enough alone. That's my life lessons I'm doing. Remember the dash. You're born, it's a dash, then you die. Check out Rudy Zarzo's podcast. Now, before I close, guys, it's fall now. Today's really cold. It was nice yesterday here in Indiana. Today, it's pretty cool and rainy. I mean, it's like late fall, right? It's more like Thanksgiving weather. It's pretty cool. But anyway, it's fall. The leaves are changing. The leaves look pretty good. Leaves look real good. Okay, you guys hear me talk about Sean James. The reason why I mentioned these leaves looking good. Get on Sean James's YouTube channel. It's called My Self-Reliance, right? If you're not even into what he's doing, he's posting some really good videos of scenery up in Canada, the fall leaves and everything. His videos, his photography is amazing. I mean, that's all I got to say about it. So it's worth just hitting his channel just to see that. My Self-Reliance on YouTube. Just type it in, you'll find it. Sean James. He's really posting some nice videos of fall right now. Get up there. Great footage of Canada. It's beautiful up there this time of year. So anyway, as I close here today, guys, thanks again for liking and subscribing to my podcast. Guests are coming. Guests did come. Thanks again, Mark, last week, my first guest. We had a great time, and a lot of people loved it. Loved the conversation, and I loved it. Okay, before I close tonight, what is a perfect or near perfect life to you? What is a perfect or near perfect life to you? Comment below. I'd be interested to know. And one other thing too is there's a lot of worries and stuff like that today and stress, and this is what you call a worry rock. And I recommend everybody get one of these because you know what, you worry, you just do this, and it makes life so much better. Just kind of calms the nerves, We can learn a lot from nature, everything with nature, We get, that's why I love Sean James up there in Canada. We get too caught up in this societal madhouse. And that's why I call it societal madhouse that we've created for ourselves as human beings. We need to really get back to basics. We need to get back to integrity, honesty, Stop being judgmental. Stop being a hypocrite. My pastor even talked about that last week. He said if we could all just get along a little bit, things would be so much better. People are going to have their opinions. They're going to be strong-willed, strong-willed, strong opinionated, strong vocally, strong personalities, whatever you want to call it. Type A is very strong, pretty boisterous, whatever. People call the president that. He is. I mean, he's like that. But, it's okay. You need people like that. You need people on the other side. Although my whole thing is like, got to make it work, people. Get along. Make it work. Because we're all one society. And if we all kind of sit back and tone it down a little bit, you're not even talking about the president. We tone things down a little, everything will be fine. We'll get through this terrible pandemic that's here. And we work together to get everything done, right? Again, I like to check out, I like to share the mugs. USS Yorktown. My brother gave me this a year ago. Awesome gift. I praise the military, man. People that are down in the country right now need to really think about what our veterans did and are doing to this day for our freedoms, for you to bitch about this country. That's all I got to say about it, okay? Not perfect, but think about the men and women that worked here on just that ship right there, 80 years ago. Okay, come on, guys, really think about it. I see posts sometimes, these young people burning flags, stepping on them and all that. I understand freedom of speech, but guess what? If you didn't live in this country, you wouldn't have freedom of speech. So don't beat it up so bad because you wouldn't have freedom of speech. And if you don't believe that, move to North Korea. And if you want to go that far, you can just go south of the border to Mexico. It's a lot different down there, the government. If you guys don't believe it, do it. Go to Mexico. It just cracks me up. These people are like, oh, man, blah, 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 get a handle on it, guys. Come on, remember. Just grab a rock and, get your worry rock out, man. Go check out some woods. Beautiful leaves, fall. A lot of people are doing it, but I think more people need to do it. Okay, this is it, guys. I'm going to sum this whole podcast up today. Okay, we learned a lot from Eddie Van Halen, right? Honest guy, lived the dream, but it was short and died, and, life's too short. The dash. You're born, the dash, and you die. What are you going to do in between there? What are you doing while we're dashing through our lives? Okay, remember, as we're living our lives, don't be a hypocrite. Have some integrity. Don't be so judgmental. And for God's sakes, be honest. And remember, people got feelings, right? My wife teases me about it. She calls me a badass with feelings. She said, Johnny, you're a badass with feelings. And she's exactly right. People got feelings, man. If people, was just lighten up on calling them stuff. Bad stuff. Pay a compliment. I've talked about this many times before. What's your legacy going to be during your dash in life? During your dash, right? What are you going to do? Think about it, guys. What are you doing right now to make your life better, to make the people around you better, feel better, make you feel better, make the people around you feel better? When you do that, it makes the world a better place. People are like, yeah, we need to make the world a better place. We need to make the world a better place. Well, you know how you start off making the world a better place? Is get some integrity, self-integrity within yourself. Be a person of integrity. That's where you start. You start there. Okay, that's my rant for today, guys. Anyway, we're going to work on having some more guests because that was fun last week. Thanks again, Mark. And that was our show. God rest Eddie Van Halen. Again, we're going to miss him so much. Thanks again for checking out my show. Like I say, every week, the Lord willing, I'll see you guys again next week. Remember, before I leave, one more time, integrity, honesty, don't be judgmental, don't be a hypocrite. And for God's sakes, be honest with your life. Be honest with yourself. Like Michael Jackson said, look in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Look at yourself. Who are you? That's a Who song, too. Who are you? Be the best person you could possibly be, right? You'd be surprised. It goes a long way, gang, really. All right, I'll see you next week.